So today I'll be showing you how to load different kinds of data in Pyspark, like in Azure data platform using Pyspark. So the format of loading data into Azure, the data lake and the delta lake, and handling different kinds of files, like parquet files or um, SQL files, DB files, and also CSV text files is actually very different from Python and pandas. So I'll actually also show you a notebook where I have used normal Python, pandas, and Pyspark for loading the data, and also how the commands are different in the Azure data DBFS file system. So I have actually commented out a lot of data here because I was using Kaggle to load different kinds of data sets, and I was experimenting with a lot of data. So here you can see I have installed Pyspark, but you don't need to install anything in Azure. So I'm starting my Spark session here, and here you can see I have named my Spark app name as load files because I'll be loading different kinds of files. So usually when you load different kinds of data in Azure, then you can actually specify the server name or the URL just by clicking this button over here, data. And also like every time you start a Azure DataBricks notebook, you have to attach a cluster over here. And I have created a temporary cluster, and I've attached it here. So you can also see that I'm actually starting with text files. So initially when I was starting, I saw that several people were having problems working with text files in Azure. So here you can see I have mentioned the emoji to text file. I've taken this text file from a Kaggle, and this is my local path. And as I told you, it is not like just like spark.read text. And here you have to specify like upload your data first in DBFS data file system, and later they give a local path. This local path is the Azure data bricks local path. And I'm actually copying this file into the Azure DB utils, and using the cp command I'm checking if my data is copied, and you can see your emoji text is copied. And here you have to actually, you can read the text using f.read, and you can also use the commenters like python 4f in like a iterator for line in f, and you can print your lines, or you can directly print the complete text here. But if the file is too big, like big data, because we are using Spark, then you can just directly give the DBFS after uploading it, and you have to give the string format here. And here I'm trying to actually read the first five lines. You can also see that the format of outputting the files, or retrieving the files output, is quite different from Python and pandas. It's not just show, or using the show command, or so here we have to select the lines or split the lines. And also we can use different commands like whole text, or like dot show first lines, or dot peek last lines, like that. And here I'm trying to read the complete text file as a CSV. So suppose if I want to operate the text file data as CSV, and I have a CSV file, then I can also read it directly like this. And using the collect option, you can see all the data output format is not like this, but it is in the form of rows, because we have read it as a CSV file, comma separated file. And while working with this kind of data, you need to write specific UDF functions, user defined functions. So I'll be showing you that in next videos maybe. And see, here I'm trying to read the complete text, but and I have used the line separator um, to read a text file. So this is another kind of like syntax, and this is how you write the files to Azure, but I have commented it right now. And I'll be showing you how you can work with CSV files. So here I have a titanic.csv. This file is very small, but usually in Parks the file size is in terabytes, or it is live streaming. So we use parallelize functions here. So you can see the CSV file has been loaded, and we are just not reading it, but uh, mm, actually I'm also specifying the format of the file and option to read the headers as well. And you can see the output here, and the complete output is shown too fast, like in 0.73 seconds. And this is another kind of way to show the to load the file. Like here I have loaded it like in the form of CSV, and here directly I'm spark.read.option delimiter .csv. So these are different kind of formats to load files. And this is another kind of format. So here you have specified the delimiters. Here you can also specify to read the headers. So you can simply see the difference here. C0 and C1 is not there. So that is how you show crisply to a client. And this is another option to actually see the output, just to see the header output. And here you can also write the output of the CSV files like this, the custom output. And here you can also read all the files which are present in a single folder. Like suppose if I have multiple files, .zip files which have CSV files in them, then I can actually specify the folder path, and all the files will be read. So I have a parquet file, and I wanted to show you how this parquet file will be loaded. So here I have workspace command, but usually if you don't give DBFS commands, then this doesn't work. So I'll show you how DBFS works. So I upload my data to DBFS, and I select my command. Then I go to see where is my parquet file. Yeah, this is the European oil built-in prices data, and this is 1.8 MB. This is very small, but usually it's very big. So I'll be copying this and done. So I'll give you my path and say this is this is how you do it. Yes, so it gets loaded. So why am I creating replacing temporary views? Because I wanted to use SQL in with this parquet files. So parquet files are usually very big, and usually data scientists and data engineers, they bulk load their data in the form of parquet files. So I am actually creating a temporary view called par, so that I can use this par as a table in this particular DataBricks notebook, and I can use all my SQL commands here, so that I'll be able to create temporary data frames using this temporary table called par. So I'm showing you my data, first 5 columns, and see, I have written my Spark SQL. You can also say like if the query is too complex, then you can say it as Azure SQL, or I can actually partition my data and use Hive partitioning in Azure DataBricks. So you can also say this as I'm trying to just use Spark SQL here, and I'm getting you, like, since I have so many columns here, so I was curious to see what are the unique countries and their respective codes, and what kind of products do they manufacture. So I pulled out data from country name called Austria, and I found that they have these 4 products or different kinds of oils which are produced in Austria. So that is all for today, guys. I'll be also showing you some more kind of Pyspark activities and fun notebooks in the next videos. So stay tuned, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I take a lot of effort to actually show you different kinds of notebooks and different kinds of projects. So this is another notebook which I've created in Kaggle. So you can see here why I've used Kaggle is because I can uh, directly I can load different kinds of data sets and different kinds of files into Kaggle within seconds using this particular command here. Like 1 minute. Where is my file? Where I am? Okay. Yeah. I can actually do plus sign. Wait a minute. I have to actually maximize my screen, so I can't show you how I'll do that loading thing here. But you can add data in Kaggle. Uh, so I have added different kind of summaries and parquet files, JSON files, emoji text like that. And Kaggle does not have libraries loaded immediately like Azure, so you have to install everything here. So I've installed my Pyspark, I've started my session, and also here you another thing is you can actually you don't have to use DBFS here. You should actually give the direct path where you have loaded your files, and the path is also shown here like emoji.txt like that. So you can use normal Pyspark commands here, and you can see your data is loaded. So why am I showing you this notebook is because I wanted to show you that like normal Pyspark in Jupyter notebooks or Kaggle notebooks is actually quite simple, like what is shown in Azure DataBricks platform. But in real time, when you work with clients or companies, they ask you to use Azure platform or AWS Redshift. And I am a Azure user since last 3-4 years. So you can see the format for loading different kinds of files is quite different with Azure, and it is not that simple as it looks. And this is one of the file. No, this is a output cell. Sorry, this is emoji output cell. Okay, and I'm actually trying to this is the output format for text file. So there I was in Azure I was actually penetrating to the data, and also I was like trying to copy the text files, and also I've shown you like how to read a text file as a CSV file and use CSV functions here. So in Azure, but here you can directly load it and you can use it in normal Kaggle notebook or Jupyter notebook. And in CSV files also there are similar commands, and it runs actually slower when compared to Azure. In Azure, within 0.5 seconds or within 2 minutes, your data gets shown. But in usually in Kaggle it takes a lot of time, like 2 minutes like that, depends upon the data size. So in Azure you can actually increase your worker nodes and your slave nodes, your master nodes, and your like functionality will actually parallelize, and it will you will get the output within seconds. So guys, if you're actually using my notebook, I'll be actually saving this notebook onto GitHub. If you are creating any cluster nodes, like I have created Samyuktham's cluster, or uploading any data, or then you should actually remember to delete all these before shutting down your Azure nodes, because every second and every minute Azure actually it charges you, and it's very expensive even for the companies. So remember to actually delete your nodes if you are working even with enterprise companies. If you don't delete, then you might actually fall into trouble, and Azure actually it calculates number of clusters and notebooks, and it charges you for every notebook you actually use it. So it's a little bit expensive, even if you are working with any consulting company for free. So remember to delete it. So that was a reminder, guys. So please subscribe to my videos to receive regular notifications. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.